No, I did not step foot in Iran.
Right.
I couldn't. I would be in jail right now. So
Yeah.
we devised a way. So this film, you have to understand, we sort of followed a river on this movie. There was an opportunity after the war. I had been asking about Iran while I was filming there over and over and over again about what happened to all the grapes. Because for people who don't know, the country of Iran was, I would say, sort of the center of Middle Eastern wine for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5,000 years probably. And a lot of that had to do with it was an incredibly rich kingdom over and over and over again. There were reasons that the Persian Empire existed, and with that, they drank a lot of wine. Their religion, Zoroastrianism, wine is a part of it. So when you have a place for thousands of years that is growing wine, it's inevitably going to be good. And so when the Islamic Revolution happened in 79, the thought was, well, what happened to all of the vineyards? I mean, the French were investing there in the 70s and 60s and 50s. Americans were. I mean, wine was a real thing, and it was a pretty cosmopolitan country, especially in Tehran. And then it shut off like a light switch. And so the question I always had was, what happened to it? And when we were filming, Vahe, the main character of the film, said basically to me, if you could find out the answer to that, would you be willing to go down the wormhole with me? And I said, I mean, I will do anything. But I couldn't go in as an American. I can tell you right now, it would have been incredibly dangerous. And for a very limited time, mostly during COVID, they had WhatsApp was working there. And so what we were able to do was find a camera crew that shot commercials in Tehran, mostly carpet commercials. These were young men that I was put in contact with through a number of channels. And they filmed for us, and what we did was we hooked up WhatsApp, and I was able to sort of remote direct, which sounds like an oxymoron, but I've come around on the fact that it is doable. We worked with them on what lenses, how they were going to shoot. They didn't totally know what we were shooting, I have to be honest with you. We were sort of more telling them it was a travel show we were doing. But that whole Iran thing of the film, for people who haven't seen it or not, I mean, you can spoil the film, but you really can't. I mean, watching that process is really wild. And so, for us, it was kind of, didn't expect to do that. The movie was supposed to be a very different film. I was going to tell the story of how wine was brought all over the world by people through religion, through, various reasons. And I turned the film on its head when we were able to go to Iran, when the war happened, all of these things, and made a movie that was, I tried to listen to what it wanted to be rather than force it to be something. And for the most part, I think that works. I mean, I think like any filmmaker, you'd make some changes after the fact, but I think that Cup of Salvation is you get to make maybe 3 films like that in your life if you're a filmmaker. I mean, truly. It was, it's one of the great honors of my entire life.